At it again, and we got to talk about Joe Biden because Joe Biden decided to get up off the beach finally, and unfortunately he didn't go to the White House and actually do his job, but he decided to take a trip to The View. Yeah, with Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Joyless Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg and the crew. Yeah, I don't think Kamala's campaign wanted this to happen. Because he revealed something that I think Trump should just run on a loop until the election, right? Trump should turn this clip or what Joe Biden says into a campaign ad, 1,000%. But not only that, he also reveals something about Nancy that we're going to get into as well. But without further ado, with all that being said, let's dive in.
To get her message out to voters. And she's been drawing large crowds. Crowds are a thing for some people. There is momentum among Democrats.
For as long as you count right.
There is some momentum among Democrats that we're seeing. As the only person who has ever beaten Trump, what advice have you given the vice president about how to win?
Be herself. Look, she is smart as hell, number one.
Yeah.
She's tough. She was a first-rate prosecutor. She is a United States senator of significant consequence. And as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy. Look, the one thing we have in common, she and I, two basic things that are different, departed from some Democrats, some past Democratic notions. We thought the way to build this country and build the economy, which was left in tatters, was to build a middle class.
Yeah. Right.
To build a middle class from the bottom up. It would increase. It would give the poor folks an opportunity, give the middle class a chance to grow, and the wealthy could still do well. They should start paying their taxes.
They should, yes.
But all kidding. And the other thing is that I don't know all of a sudden how we're so down on the prospects of America. There's nothing we've ever set out to do we haven't been able to do as a people. And we've done it together. Nothing. And so I just think she has the energy, she has the intelligence, she has the grit, she has the stamina, and she has the guts to do the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. President.
Did you catch it? He said, she's so smart, so I could delegate, her to do, things from foreign to domestic, and basically saying that this campaign, this administration was Kamala's administration. She was as much a part of it as Joe Biden was. And that is the thing that Kamala's campaign has been trying to somewhat separate, right? Unsuccessfully. But they want to separate themselves. And Joe Biden just made sure that the world knows this administration is Kamala's administration too. Make no mistake about it. She's been just as much a part of it as I have. Trump should put that in a campaign ad and just run it on a loop in all of the battleground states. Just run it on a loop. Okay? Do you want more of the same? Or do you want peace and prosperity again? The answer is real simple. It's real simple. But not only that, do you guys remember when Nancy Pelosi said this?
You know what?
Have you talked to him is my only question.
What I have to do.
Right.
He made the decision for the country. My concern was not about the president. It was about his campaign.
So she's saying that he made the decision. But then she goes on to say stuff. She went on to say stuff like this.
Furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any precious party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody.
Oh, and I'm leading into something here because I know y'all are probably like, why is he showing clips of Nancy Pelosi? Well, The View went on to ask Joe Biden about exactly what happened. And this was his answer. Tell me, what do you think?
We all agree at this table it's very selfless of you to pass the baton and step aside. There was a perception that perhaps your hand was forced, and some pointed fingers to Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who you have a long relationship with and accomplished many things with. Did you feel that your hand was forced, and what is your relationship with Speaker Pelosi now?
My relationship is fine. Look, I never fully believed the assertions that somehow there was this overwhelming reluctance of my running again. I didn't sense that. Mm-hmm. And although the polling, as I said, Biden's polling was different, the fact of the matter is my polling was about, we're always within range of beating this guy.
Yeah.
And, what I did was, I think there were, it makes sense. There were some folks who would like to see me step aside so they have a chance to move on. I get that. That's just human nature. But that wasn't the reason that I stepped down. I stepped down because I started thinking about it. You know, it's hard to think of, I know you're only 30, but it's hard to think of, it's hard for me to even say how old I am. No, I'm serious. I don't know.
Why is that?
I give my word. It's like, holy God, that can't be right. that just can't be right.
I'm your age, by the way. The number gives me vertigo. No. Yes, it does. I am. I'm your age.
No woman close to me is as old as I am. None.
I'm telling you. Sir.
Right now they are.
And Mr. President,
Yeah. Did you guys notice how he paused when he was answering that question? I'm gonna run it back because the way he answered that was extremely interesting.
do you feel that your hand was forced, and what is your relationship with Speaker Pelosi now?
My relationship is fine. Look, I never.
The nervous giggle, kind of thing after a pregnant pause. I don't know. It seems to me like he thought about saying something else, but decided against it, But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But also, one thing that I do think will be interesting is, and you heard him say it, that he thought he could beat Trump. And I think he genuinely believes it. And I'm going to get to more of that here in a second. But when Kamala loses, it's going to be interesting to see what mainstream media says about Joe Biden. It's going to be really, really interesting because everybody was calling for him to step down. And before, they were saying that he was perfectly well aware and all of his mentals were there. Lights on in somebody's home, even though there wasn't. And we all saw it. But it's going to be interesting to watch their reactions to Joe Biden after Kamala loses. What do y'all think they will say? I genuinely have no clue, so I'm honestly looking forward to it to see what they say about Joe Biden. Oh, well, Joe Biden should have stayed in the race, I think there's going to be some people that are going to come out of the woodworks that are going to say that. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real, real interesting. But also, one thing that I did notice, and granted, he's been gone for a while, so maybe he's hyped up on something. Maybe he's having a good moment. But he seems a bit sharper. And honestly, he's speaking better than Kamala. Now, that's not saying much, right? But he is speaking better than Kamala in this interview, or not interview, but, this sit down with the Viewcast. He's speaking better than Kamala is. Which should tell you everything you need to know about where Kamala is. If Joe Biden sounds better than you at this point, that is horrible. That is horrible. Did anybody else feel that same way? Listening to this, I was like, oh, okay. All right, not making the most sense in the world, but, you know, I can follow. Unlike with Kamala, Kamala's here, she's there, she's over here, she's over here, and the question's right here, but she's just dancing all the way around the darn thing, saying a bunch of nothing. Joe Biden made more sense than Kamala. Ain't that crazy? I didn't think I'd be able to say that one, but hey, here we are. Here we are. But, the Kamala campaign is going to have some trouble on their hands after this interview with that opening statement that Joe Biden made, basically letting the world know that she is part of that administration and was very much a part of the administration and the decision-making that went on with this administration. I don't think she's going to be able to pull away from that one. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.